Well, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everybody out there on YouTube, wherever you are in the world, whatever time of day it is for you. I hope you're doing exceptionally well. In this video, we're going to jump right in and start making a Horde base, which I've kind of laid out for myself so I know what we're doing. This is going to kind of happen in 4 phases. I'm going to call it the stairs, the pit, the base, and then the tower top. I haven't really come up with a good name for that 4th part. But anyway, you'll see how it all functions, but essentially I'll explain it really quickly. The zombies will start here, and these will not be where they have to jump. They'll just be up here, and then there will be a path where only one zombie can walk across. The others will start falling down. There will be a spot where I fight them with melee and other, obviously, guns and stuff as needed. They'll fall down. They'll fall far enough to where they'll take a little bit of fall damage, and that seems, I don't know this for sure in long-term testing, that seems to prevent them from going aggro and starting to hit all the stuff down there. We'll see. But there will be a little kind of way for them to stagger up the stairs, come back around, and start over again. Now, this bottom portion will be hollow, where I can put, like, electronics and different, wires to different traps and stuff if I want to do that eventually. And then the top portion, which will be here at the end, you'll see it all. Hopefully I have the materials. I think I do, but we'll see. And once we get to the end there, you'll see kind of the top tower. We'll have a way to get to the birds. We'll have a way to get down into this area, all within the same tower. And then on the 2 sides of the towers, there'll be like little wings, if you will, where eventually I intend to use things like SMG, shotgun, and junk turrets. So, let's start with the stairs. Alright, well now that we have the stairs kind of built, I'm leaving that support there for a second because until I connect these, if I take that out, I believe the blocks above it will fall off. The block that I'm going to use here is actually from a community member whose name is escaping me at the moment. If you are that community member, let me know in the comments, and I'll pin your comment. That way people know that it was actually you. So, what I've got here is the 0.025 little pole block. Now, what's great about this block, there's lots of different blocks that'll essentially do this, but like I said, one zombie can walk. Now, I mean, if you walk off either side, you fall down. So, I mean, it's very, very, very important that you use something like that for this kind of a base. Now, I have mixed feelings about whether or not I'm going to, like, make it a little bit smoother on the sides here where they have a little bit of a wider base to get up. We'll see how things go. If it gets really chaotic eventually, I don't think it would destroy the base, but it might be worth expanding this. So, I've only done a mild amount of testing because I kind of want to test the base in its fullness with you guys. It's a little more fun that way. Anyway, I now need to dig this base out until the bottom of this is the stone layer. Alright, perfect. Let's grab all the crushed sand that dropped over here. And basically what we've got now is we've got this little pit. Is this stone? Okay, good. Oh. Okay, well, let's go ahead and spend that point. We're going to put that into archery. Now, basically at this point, what we want them to do is we want them to be stuck trying to jump their way up back that way. So, basically, go like this on each side. It is nothing super complicated at all. So they'll come up, they'll jump, they'll jump, they'll jump, they'll jump. Now my hope is with this design that they will fall and hit down here where they should take enough fall damage to where they shouldn't start going aggro on the walls. We'll see if that plays out for us. But that's kind of the principle here on the pit side. And now it's time to build the base over here. So I'm going to get to it. Alright, well now you get the basic concept here. We're getting there. You're starting to see it. This is something that I've done in lots of different playthroughs before, but honestly, it's just like my tried and true bread and butter base. I'm not the type of person who does a lot of base design. It's not really my type of thing. But I've never really taken the time to showcase the one that I actually have kind of amalgamated. That's not a word that applies here. It is a word, but I've put together from multiple different YouTubers and watching them and kind of getting inspired by them. Mostly Guns, Nerds, and Steel, though, has been the big motivator for me. Or not motivator, but, oh, you know, my words are good today. We're just going to pretend that I said something really nice about him, even if I don't remember the words I was going to use, okay? All in agreement? Good. So now the next piece of this, I'm already kind of started on, is the upper part of the tower. Now, this is kind of the fighting position, as Guns, Nerds, and Steel would call it. We got a dust storm rolling in. That's no bueno. But if you just kind of follow along with me here, this will eventually get filled in. I'll fill that in at the end and kind of explain why I chose those particular blocks at that point. But basically, we just put this up over, and, oh, I did forget something down here, as a matter of fact. Okay, let's see if I can just outsmart, why are you struggling so hard? I don't know, David, why are you struggling so hard? I don't know, David, it's a good question, David. Let's put these bars down here. Now, I messed around with this base design quite a bit, and was concerned that these bars may eventually cause some problems. They might still, but from what I tested, they didn't cause me too many issues. Now, if I had the ladder all the way down to the bottom, they saw this as a weak point and came in here to get up the ladder, come up the hatch, and come up to me. But when I took out the bottom two ladders, we had no such problem. So I'm going to finish up the edges of this, the wall, then I'll show you what we do with the top to help with the bird situation. Okay, well, now that we've got the walls up, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to continue the ladder up from here. Now, we aren't going to do anything crazy up here. This is just a way to get up here. It's another way out. That's kind of my thinking. I also just remembered I did do a slight modification. I'll show you guys on the side because we got the wings to add to this upper tower as well. But anyway, what we do is we come over here, go to shape. We're going to go bars. Again, I really like the bars. You can shoot through them. I've just been really impressed with how these have functioned for this base before. Now, I know this is all wooden frames, just to be clear. I'm aware of that. Because some of you, I know the comments are going to be flooded with people going, that base will never stand up because it's for... Okay, relax. No one leaves the frame shapes, okay? If you do, you are much gutsier than I am. Unless you're doing some cheese base, which I suppose could be a thing where, like, you know... decide that you're just not going to make anything out of, like, really impressive blocks because you want to prove a point, I guess. That's an option. Let's go ahead and put another hatch up here. Don't want to give any options inward. Okay. So now, all these bars up here just allows me to be down here and to shoot up at the birds. The puking birds have never really taken advantage of puking through the top in my past playthroughs, so, you know, I'm not terribly worried about it. Now, the last couple pieces, we've got to take care of the fighting position. Let's go ahead and do that, actually. So, the block that I use on this first layer is called the security gate, but I use the diagonal, and then on the two sides, and then I use the regular one. Oh, we got to do the advanced rotation until it gets all the way around, and then I like it to be the same, you know, horizontal instead of vertical. Now, the reason I chose those, again, I've acknowledged many times at this point that this base is largely inspired by Guns, Nerds, and Steel, and this particular part of it was inspired from his Frostbite series build, where he did this concept. So you use these I-beams as bumpers, and you do that on this side as well as over here. So we're going to reset the advanced rotation. Get around eventually. There we go. And then we gotta wait until this one gets in line to do that. Okay, so that takes care of the bumper situation. Now, two more blocks up here. And I always forget what they're called, but I know V2 is in the name. Yeah, it's these, but I could use this one, but I really like this. So we're going to go ahead and just put it to on face right there. And of course, we have one extra block, but that's okay. It's kind of like when you're building something from IKEA and you have an extra piece. That's just normal, right? No, it's not, by the way. If you think that's normal, it's really not, and you're just lying to yourself. I don't know why I'm upgrading the hatches, but nothing else. Apparently, that's all I need is just the hatches. So that's the concept here. Now, they'll come up here, they'll try and fight, but then they fall off, and they just repeat. So this is essentially the design. Now, the last piece of the design is going to be over here. Which reminds me, I do need a few more blocks. I don't know exactly how many, so we're just going to make, I don't know, like 30. And this is going to be a little trickier to do in not creative flying around, I just realized, but not impossible, just tricky. So I think maybe can we do it from the base? Yeah, here we go. Now what I do with these is we go out to about here, and then we'll go around the other side and do the same thing, but essentially we then take the plate, but we go to the diagonal part of it, which is somewhere in here. Plate half. Yep, diagonal. We do advance. Like that. And like that. And now, the last piece. I'm trying to remember what these blocks are called. I've never used them in this build before, but I know what they look like. Okay. Pole supports left and right. So this one will go here. And this will go essentially all the way up to there. Now, I did forget a couple of plates. It just occurred to me. So let's go copy shape, copy rotation. Whoops. Grab it. There we go. And then basically I just mirror that on this side. So then we'll go over here again. We'll go down to... oh, shoot. I can't remember which one I used. Did I get it? Oh, good. Nice. I did it first time. I love it when I do that. So now it just kind of looks like it's supported. Right? I mean, it just kind of looks like that's all together. And it does actually provide some structural integrity without literally just having something hanging off the side there. And then essentially we'll do that on the same thing over here. And I don't know, that was what? I don't know, 9 plates. I think that's 15 blocks. I think we'll need like 3 more frame shapes. And then this will be the basic concept of the design. And there you have it. That is essentially the base in a nutshell. And you can kind of see how it functions here. You'll get to see it on Horde Night. But in between now and then, I just need to make some upgrades. So I'm going to go ahead and upgrade all this to at least wood. Probably cobblestone. As much cobblestone as we have, we should be okay. It bothers me that I have 1 less cobblestone rock. There we go. That makes me feel a lot better. So we're going to go ahead and upgrade all this. And let's just get started. You guys get the idea. Perfect. Well, now we really just need to do some little bits and pieces, little final bits of upgrading. I mean, I'll probably go ahead and take all this to concrete. But basically, you get the idea of the base now. Like I said, I did some testing with a bunch of feral Arlenes on a different creative world that I started literally specifically for the purpose of testing this base idea. Because I've used this base before, but I've never added the wings. I've never really utilized the space that is underneath here, and I wanted to start making use of this. Wanted to have kind of a functional area down here that's not just storage, it's not just ammo, it's literally used for something. And I don't know exactly what that's going to look like yet. I'm going to have to play around a little bit more with it. But essentially, we got to upgrade these hatches, got to upgrade the doors, at least get iron on them. I don't know that they need to be, you know, crazily upgraded, because they aren't really big points. They just, you know, I'd like them to at least be metal and in good shape. So then, that's it. I mean, we really have our base now. And the one thing I didn't test, and I can test because I've got a junk turret. Oh, well, maybe I can if I can get him out here. I'm kind of curious how well this is going to work. Because if I slap him there... Oh yeah, he's got a whole coverage area right there. And you can kind of see where his laser goes when it comes back, hopefully here in just a second. Yeah, it's coming right back. And you can kind of see now as it gets close there, that's my one concern, is as the zombies get close, is he going to try and shoot around this edge and by extension end up damaging it. But, you know, considering this base is not really simple, but simple in concept. Didn't take, you know, a whole bunch of time, and I think this is future-proof. You know, we're going to have to play, you know, on Horde nights, and as the difficulty progresses, the whole point of this now, and I don't know if I've ever actually said this, the whole point of the series is to get to either day, I think it's 28, when I'll be fighting maxed out zombie hordes, like not 16, you know, still 16 zombies, but like high difficulty. And then essentially every horde night after that, I'm going to start ramping up how many zombies spawn in each horde. And it's either live until I've maxed out the zombies and we're on Nightmare, or I die, whichever thing comes first. And this base is meant to carry us all the way into that. I didn't want to have to make a whole bunch of bases. I wanted to make one concept. Now, again, got a lot of upgrades I can do, but I think rather than doing that on camera, I'll do the rest of it off camera, and you guys will just see it in the next episode. But I hope you enjoyed it. This one was going to be a bit of a challenge for me to edit. You know, editing David, I hope you enjoyed doing that, because I don't know what you're going to do with that will make it cool. But hopefully it was enjoyable to you guys. If it was, please do me a favor, hit the like button, and of course leave a comment. I'm always asking you guys to do that for a reason. Your comments really do go a long way in helping me continue and feel a little bit more confident in what I am doing. So, until the next episode, this is Gaming for Hope, signing off.